Hi, welcome to the First Issue Club. We're your weekly comic book podcast where, just like Sue Storm, we love a good read. I say it with a smile because I mean it. Comics bring joy to our life. Pops of color on every single page that brighten our lives, as do these stories that enrich us, give us fervor.
Fervor,
Father.
marriage.
Welcome, you guys. I'm Mike D.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Vargas.
And we're going to talk to you about a handful of these first issues that are going to brighten and exciten your life.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We'll see.
There's a lot of darkness out there during these precedented times.
How about a little escapism?
Yeah.
Okay.
We needed comics more than ever now. Okay. We've got a lot of news to cover. And like we said, some great comics to talk about. However, first we would like to say thank you to Boulevard Brewing Company for their line of Space Camper Cosmic IPAs. Not only one of the tastiest IPAs in the galaxy with...
Or beyond.
Or beyond, right? But one with a lot of different options. And one that makes a comic book podcast possible. And if that's not a good reason to like a beer, I don't know what is.
Not only do we love alcoholic beverages, but we love one with a cast of characters that we can really connect with. Space Camper IPA supplies those in spades. So from all of us here at First Issue Club, thank you, Boulevard Brewing Company, for being so amazing. Woo! And did we mention, you look great today.
Ow.
Oh, got some folio going on.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here. Get out of here, Foley guy. Mike D,
Thunder sheet as the Foley guy walks
he's
away.
dropping his doorknobs and celery. I haven't been able to give you your flowers or your roses in person over some of my favorite Foley work that you have done in the most recent years with our April Fool's episode where you were 8 different people in a DC boardroom meeting.
Yeah.
Go find that episode. It's like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So good.
Still some of your best work.
Thank you. That was very fun to make.
It's very fun to listen to.
All right. We'll do if people are interested, I don't know if those are an uptick when we fool around or if people are like
People love it when we fool
they
around.
love it when we're fooling around.
Go to our OnlyFans.
But, I never know. When we're a comic book podcast and we do a goofy episode every once in a while. And if people like those, I feel like we do goofy episodes more. But I also feel like it's frustrating for people who are like, I came here to listen to comic book talk.
I think it's a good palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go to Golden Corral every day.
Right.
But sometimes on your birthday, you want to feel absolutely disgusting.
Well, you don't want to replace the comic book content with goofy content.
Yeah.
But when the goofy content supplements the comic book content,
Yeah.
that's the sweet
We
spot.
do keep it about comic books when we're being
Goofy.
when we're in character.
When we're allowed ourselves a little laugh.
we're our alter egos.
Yeah, right.
These funny guys.
That's right.
Here
Or so
come
we
the
like to
funny
believe.
guys.
Hey, it's funny, Mike D.
You can
The only
tell by
difference
the
is
red
that-
nose on my honk honk. I'm wearing shoes that are 7 sizes too big. Like a clown.
We do need to do a comic book morning zoo.
I think that'd be fun. That should be next year's April Fool's.
Okay.
98.9 the spec. Hot or not. Slap it.
We're here with Greg, D, and the Flush.
Many things have happened in the comic book world since we've last talked, listener. More notably, new Fantastic Four trailer. We spent a vast amount of time over on the Patreon introducing ourselves to the Silver Surfer and who they are. So if you want to check that out, go to patreon.com/First Issue Club. But while we're here, first reactions to the trailers, gentlemen.
Oh, I could be more excited because the movie could be coming out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But barring that, I could not be more excited for this movie.
They hit every note they needed to hit to reassure people that they knew what they were fucking doing.
Yep.
And they did it. The only thing that is suspiciously missing was one character. One little character who is always in Fantastic Four trailers.
Watu the Watcher.
Mr. Dr. Doom.
Mr. Dr. Doom.
Where he?
Where
is Doom?
He's probably still at Evil Medical School. He is Mr. Doom right now.
The hanging participle of this whole thing is the Doom. When are they going to bring the Doom?
I really want to see, ever since Paul F. Tompkins used to do a character, he's a comedian. Used to do a character, a Watu the Watcher, but as a just like normal neighborhood guy. That's like an old man in Brooklyn, and he'd be like, "Hey, it's me, Owatu." And just hearing,
I'm just watching.
Yeah, exactly right.
I'm just here watching the neighborhood.
Cosmic being just like speaking so casually was very funny. So the idea of like a weird casting choice for that character is very entertaining to me. That seems like one that would be hard to cast a celebrity in.
Owatu?
Yeah. Just because you would be like, I roll. This is too weird.
I don't know. Here's some options. Michael Cera.
For Owatu. Pass?
No. Michael Cera. because Marvel didn't...
Hey, Reed, real quick. Sorry to interrupt.
Marvel
I know I'm not supposed to jump in here and talk to you guys, but Galactus is coming. It's kind of a big deal.
Marvel didn't get my letters and cast him as Lockjaw. So... Michael Cera as Watu. Maybe Bobcat Goldthwait as Watu.
Fine. The man has many voices.
He's... Yeah.
People don't realize that the Bobcat thing was a bit. He was leaning into that voice pretty hard.
Yeah.
Kind of like Pauly Shore.
And he... my third choice.
Oh, gosh.
The Weasel.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore.
It's Owatu.
Owatu.
Hey, buddy. Don't mean to harsh your vibe, but
Yeah.
Galactus is on his way.
You know who's in like every movie lately is Willem Dafoe. That guy seems to be in like every other trailer I see.
He's making all them A24 movies.
Yeah, he makes
Yeah.
a lot of A24 movies.
I am all for it. More Dafoe, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Who is the voice of Louise Belcher?
Oh, the...
Kristen Shaw.
Yeah.
She will be Owatu.
Yes. No, Matt Berry. There. Watu the Watcher.
Ew, what do?
Reed Richards!
Watu!
Galactus is on his way. You better get the fuck out of here.
Watu, normal human bartender.
I'm not wasting my goddamn time coming here and falling upon deaf ears.
Yes.
I read, this is not comic book related, but we're talking about Matt Berry.
Then what the fuck are you bringing it up for?
Because I read that he was supposed to be Steve in the Minecraft movie, but had to drop out.
Oh, that's actually a good call.
Yeah.
Good for him. Not saying that's a bad movie. I just don't want Matt Berry to be associated with that.
No, I just want to watch Matt Berry be every character.
Wait, isn't Matt Berry Herbie in the Fantastic Four movie?
Is he?
I think
Not that I'd heard.
He was the robot in Fallout.
Andy, we've talked about this.
I love Matt
Fallout and Marvel are not the same.
Berry. Matt Berry is my favorite.
I'll look into that. I think someone important is Herbie.
That's great.
When I say someone important, I clearly mean famous as fuck.
You mean Matt Berry.
Yeah, I mean Matt Berry.
Okay. But Fantastic Four trailer.
Fantastic Four looks amazing.
It's incredible.
More importantly, I don't want to prematurely blow my joy for Fantastic Four because Thunderbolts is right around the goddamn corner.
And you didn't watch the other trailer.
I have not seen the other trailer yet.
It actually provides a lot more gravitas than the other trailers. It's less goofy.
Well,
I mean, it gives you an idea of what the emotional stakes of the movie are.
Sure,
Which are
yeah.
cool. And that was one of my news hits was I read a breakdown of an interview with Florence Pugh, who confirmed that Yelena is like the main character of Thunderbolts.
Hell yes.
Which I think is a cool decision.
Yes.
About her like dealing with Natasha's death and, how is she going to become a hero in her own right?
Apparently this is also a pretty big character shift for the Winter Soldier as well.
So You guys, have you guys seen Captain America?
No.
No.
Brave New World?
No. Go ahead and spoil it. Spoilers for everyone that doesn't give a shit.
They announced that Bucky Barnes is running for Congress, and they're so confident in his campaign that they call him whatever, Senator Barnes or whatever. So like, he is doing things
that change the world.
That will either be interrupted by Thunderbolts or he's going to be like a sitting member of Congress fighting crime.
I imagine, because there is that scene where he's putting his arm in the dishwasher, dressed in a very nice suit. If he's like going to something, a political rally, if you will, and he's called off to do this, I think his political career and his political career may be in some hot water.
Yeah.
After this Thunderbolts movie.
Yeah. So that I think is pretty interesting. But the other thing that was cool about that interview with Florence Pugh was she said that the asterisk has like a definite meaning that is a secret. She can't talk about it. Nobody can talk about it. Right. It's a big whatever. So there is a reveal.
I can confirm it is not in reference to the flag from Community.
It is not. And also, nobody in that movie has taken steroids.
Right.
We can confirm.
Yes.
So
Barry Bonds is not in Thunderbolts. I still am leaning with my theory that it's Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
Because that would be sick as hell.
Yeah.
Did you also see that they're doing a screening a week before the worldwide premiere?
No.
So they've chosen 8 cities in the United States, like some in California. I know Austin was one. It's a limited viewing, one night only, for fans.
Sure.
See the movie before the worldwide premiere. And that just shows to me that they're so fucking confident that this movie's going to make more money than God himself can print. That they're like, fucking let them just leak it. We'll leak it ourselves. They're going to go see it anyway.
Yeah, I'm jazzed about Thunderbolts.
I'm so pumped for this movie.
This summer is going to be summer of Marvel.
The marvelous summer.
The marvelous summer. If they at some point decide we need to hit the reset button on the MCU, I do think it would be fun to finish it however they want to finish it in a serious way and let people like walk off into the sunset, but then follow it up with like a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe or something like that.
That's how they change over every reset.
Right.
They get Ryan Reynolds.
And he just kills every character.
Like
it's just
80-year-old Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Something else we need to talk about. Have you guys finished Daredevil Born Again?
Nope.
Are we watching that?
Oh, no. The finale was yesterday?
The finale was Tuesday.
Okay.
He got his sight back.
I think these are on Wednesdays. Oops.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was very good.
Okay.
I mean, it's like a total setup for season 2.
Okay, I was going to ask if there was a good cliffhanger.
It's insane, and there's literally a scene that my brother texted me, and he was like, "Bro, this scene." Like,
okay, I'll have to go home. And watch
I mean,
it
it's insane. It's insane that it's on Disney. Is what's insane about it.
It's insane that my 4-year-old son could accidentally access it.
That's what I'm saying. Like that it could autoplay after Moana 2 is buck wild.
How does it rank from the seasons of Daredevil for you? You got 1, 2, and 3 on the original Netflix.
Yeah.
And then Born Again. We won't include Defenders or...
Sure. I'm kind of always a sucker for like an origin story, so I think season 1 is probably still the best. But this was really good. I think if you combine it, because they originally wrote it as like an 18-episode big maxi thing. So I think once we get season 1 and season 2 together, that whole story is going to be like the definitive Daredevil.
I mean, season 1 had that iconic hallway one-shot scene that it's just like, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
And season 2 was Punisher primarily, right?
Yep.
And then 3 dealt with the hand? Oh, no, 3 was like Matt walking away and living in the church, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And finding out that the nun is his mom.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, it would go season 1, season 2, Born Again, and season 3 for me.
Probably.
I judge him by how many times we hear Vanessa.
Oh, sure.
So in season 3,
We do get a lot of great.
It's my least favorite.
We do get a lot of great Vincent D'Onofrio hand stuff in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, he does.
he must have got paid for like knuckle pop.
Dude, that's
He like just fleeced him. Yeah, I like to get paid like another 100,000 for every time I pop my knuckles.
And
a man
They're like,
who
how many
just-
times can he do it?
Trying so hard to hold his rage
Yeah.
back. It's
and I swear every episode of Born Again, they like, okay, put another half pound of fluff in Vincent's bodysuit because it looks like Kingpin just like
Well, there's
Yeah.
that scene where he goes to put on his suit coat and he's just he rips
can't-
it
yeah.
because he's getting big or
Yeah.
in this
It's-
more villainous.
but
as
it
goes
feels
on.
like by the time the season's over, he's like,
he's like it's from the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Kingpin where he's like half the
yeah.
screen.
yeah,
pea-sized head,
Still my favorite. The Kingpin.
shoulders as wide as Tennessee.
yeah.
Why is Tennessee? I've never heard that.
Are you from Tennessee?
Famously wide state.
Because you're the only 10 I see.
Oh,
Woof.
babe.
Yikes.
So yeah, Born Again, very good. Very excited for season 2. Excited for the Punisher special that they have confirmed.
When's that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're doing like another Punisher like spin-off thing of Born Again.
You know what I saw the other day or I read was that the guy who directed the Werewolf by Night Halloween special,
Oh, I kind of saw this.
yes, had plans for a follow-up or a sequel, and then it never got greenlit, so they're doing it as a comic book now.
I
So
did hear about that.
He's writing
Yes.
a Werewolf by Night
Yeah.
comic that is like where the movie might have gone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Which I was nuts for that.
They should
Movie.
release 2 versions, one in black and white and one in color of the comic.
That would be great. That's, I mean, just fun
Don't
as like
give
a
them
nod.
that idea.
But
They
yeah,
can have my $10.
and I bet you anything, if it weren't for COVID, that second Werewolf by Night would have happened.
For sure.
It's crazy that that's the only thing COVID destroyed.
Was Werewolf by Night potentially too?
Yeah.
Werewolf by
That
Night 2?
everything else got
Everything else
got out
totally fine.
got
Yeah.
out clear.
Totally
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Man, that seems like a dream. Moving on. I don't want to have PTSD right now.
I do want to keep talking about Werewolf by Night, but we can move on.
You guys didn't talk about it, but I want to just touch on it a little bit. Diamond is at it again.
They're at it again.
If you don't remember, Diamond Publishing ran out of money, bankruptcy, had an auction, had a winner of that auction, had a huge number that they were going to get bought for. and then
$45.
$45 million. I think it was billion, actually. Might have been a B in there. Anyway, Diamond recently said, LOL, JK, we're not going to sell to you, company that got the winning bid. We're actually going to sell to the second place bidder because we wanted to sell to them initially. But thank you for telling us how much our company is worth.
And now Diamond's getting sued.
And now the company said, hold on, fam. Let's do a little vibe check here, and we're going to sue the shit out of you for being dishonest with your initial pitch.
Yeah, for not, what is it? They're not
Good faith.
yeah, good faith negotiations.
So, my
my
input there is just like, what the fuck has Diamond been doing since COVID? Really, I mean, they have just like fumbled it. They are in critical condition mentally now because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's not a good time.
For them, for us,
For
it's
them.
fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
We're doing great.
Yep.
But,
Everything's the same for me.
It feels like an episode of like Arrested Development with that situation. It's just like everything that could go wrong is happening.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that the CEO of Diamond is like just 3 kids stacked on top of each other in a business suit.
They named it Diamond because they like shiny things.
Yeah.
I think what we're really learning through all of this is that they're not as important as we thought they were.
The facade.
to comics, that they were this Goliath in the industry for so long, and that if anything happened to them, comic books falls apart. Well, everything that could have happened to them has happened. In the last,
Even some new shit that we didn't think
in
happened.
a really short period of time, and like shit is business as usual.
They lost the big two, and if anything was going to kill them, it was that.
Yeah,
right.
And we also found out just how much in debt they were in. Like, could you even technically say that they were successful?
I mean, Amazon's never made money, so.
Well, I'll tell that to Bezos.
What other news do we have?
I think that's it. Oh, Friday is Superman Day.
And new Free Comic Book Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah, May 3rd, 2nd.
Yeah, that sounds good. Anyway. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're going to go hang out again.
Sure.
I would go again, yeah.
Get our free comic books.
Let's do it. Maybe if I bring my son, I'll get double books.
You going to turn them in as like a donation?
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe somebody will take him.
If you give us your baby, you get 2 more free comic books. You're like, oh, see you running.
Okay.
You'll have a better life here.
Slab him.
He's a 9.8. I'm trying to think about other things that are happening right now as far as comic book stuff. There's been a lot of discussion right now about the kind of revival of comic book journalism.
That's us, baby.
That is not us. We are just some blokes who like to talk. There was a time when, before all this, like we had like Wizard Magazine and all these other fantastic publications that like showcase comic books and toys and nerd stuff like every month. And it was amazing. And then when the .com thing happened, initially it was great. We had blogs and message boards and so many avenues, and then it just kind of went into clickbait type, like who can get the most likes and ad revenue.
That's us, baby.
And that may be us. And it got extremely popular because that's where, all the money was going. And now there's this kind of like grassroots resurgence into like genuine articles about comic books and the industry and the community. And I read an article about how like newsletters are becoming more popular to give to people in email. So I guess I'm just curious. I was like, do you guys go to any comic book journalists or news sites to read things like on a daily basis, or like where do you get your comic book news besides here at First Issue Club?
It is frustrating because if you Google comic book news,
there's one site that
you do just get a bunch of crap that's all movie rumors and bad top 10 lists from, I can't remember who was always doing those top 10 lists.
Yeah, I mean CBR, Bleeding Cool.
Yeah, Bleeding Cool probably. It's just like...
Yeah, there's like 3 websites.
Tons of garbage just regurgitated in another package that's just meaningless list after meaningless list.
That's CBR. Bleeding Cool's fine.
I don't like Bleeding Cool.
Is that right?
I mean, they do more journalistic reviews than CBR. CBR is like top 10 century outfits.
Okay, that must be the one that bugs me. I feel like
I like The Beat. The Beat is awesome.
I feel like Hollywood Reporter, or like one of those other places too.
IGN.
Yeah.
Oh God, IGN. Game Radar.
Yeah.
But in any case, ever since old Substack started, it's like I can go right to the creators now to get the editorialization of what they were thinking when they wrote the thing, and an in-depth thought about different stuff in the comic book industry. And lately it's been more fun for me to get that straight from the people working on the comics than it has like a hobbyist, especially when it's so hard to find a good hobbyist that's like, I don't know, I kind of want to read someone's takes that resonate with mine in some respect.
So why not go to the author that you always read their books? You know
yeah,
what
I mean, kind of in a way, but there's also like, there's so many kind of what I was trying to say without saying it was there's a lot of online comic book people who are like shitheads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why dance around that?
Yeah. And I just don't want to waste my time like reading through an article and figure out like,
Yeah.
oh, you hated this book because there was like a diverse character introduced.
Yeah.
Like,
What was that one like Bounding for Comics or like
Oh, dude, yeah.
that site lives to just piss people off.
Yeah.
And it sucks butt.
so it's almost like I just avoid that. If I don't know who it is already, I just avoid it now. And I'm probably doing myself a disservice because sometimes it is fun to get an outside take on what someone thought about something who isn't in the industry. But most of my takes are in industry now just because of Substack.
And the scary thing now is just like most articles can be written with AI. That it's just like, am I even reading a human take on this book?
Yeah. I hate so much about the AI synopses that are on things. Like you guys know I'm a big eBay shopper, and every item you go to the description to see like, well, was it stored in a smoke-free home? Does it have any like mildew in it? Or are there like, where are there the problem areas on the book that like may not be showing up in pictures? These are the things people used to put in a description. Since the dawn of just like AI telling you about stuff, now everyone's description says, this is a comic book published by Marvel Comics. It is an important and great purchase for
Any collector.
For any collector. Yeah.
It's a worthwhile for your collection.
It brings a lot of that nostalgic feel from the period of the 80s and 90s that people love so much. It's just like generic blah, 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 blah.
It's like the blurb before a recipe online. You're just like, give me the fucking recipe.
It tells you nothing about the comic, and then people feel like they don't have to tell you anything about the comic because they uploaded this nothing paragraph.
I think that's more of a result of the spec market than anything else.
Sure.
Like, anybody who is like wants to unload a comic that is a comic collector. Like, if you were to sell a book, you would put that stuff in there.
Oh, I would be like,
but
yeah.
dog-eared, a little wrinkled. My guess is it's a 6.
Yeah, but people that are like putting AI slop in the description bought 10 issues of it because
bought 18 issues of Rat City.
Yeah, because Spawn's getting a movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's all nonsense. AI is bad and
Easy to spot a poser.
easy to spot a poser for sure.
As far as that, not much else news-wise happening.
I was thinking about John Tyler Christopher's action figure covers a lot this past week.
Oh my
because
God.
of all the AI action figure stuff that's happened the last
And those are garbage.
couple weeks.
They're
The thing about this stuff that I'm really realizing quickly is that it just ruins anything that you enjoy about a quirky piece of art so fast because you just see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's very disappointing for the Studio Ghibli stuff because you're going to have a whole generation of people now that associate it as like, oh, that's like the AI export. Like, make me a cartoon, Ghiblify me.
They made a movie from that app?
Yeah, right? Like, people are going to grow up being like, that's what this is. Like, that sucks.
Well, and it's a good thing that JTC is out of the action figure game.
Yeah, it's like you can't do those covers anymore.
Like, that's dead,
right?
That's
It's totally dead now.
Yeah. You know, once AI picks up on the negative space thing, that's going to be dead, right? And he's going to need to find a new shtick.
It's just going to be corny.
Yeah.
After you have AI get a hold of it.
Yeah.
Bummer. It's ruining everything.
Yep. It is.
Dang it, computers.
Dang it, computers. You were supposed to help me do my job.
Ruining stuff, computers. Come on.
Can we talk about comic books now?
I say we go right into it.
What did you guys read this week?
Let me pull that up. I actually read some really fun books this week that I'm happy to talk about, nay, excited to talk about. I read Superior Avengers.
Hell yeah.
Out on Marvel Comics, written by Steve Fox, Luca Marseca, and Kyle Hotz. This is a part of the One Nation Under Doom.
Kyle Hotz did art?
Kyle Hotz did like the flashback art in this.
Okay.
It ripped.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. So this is a book about Dr. Doom and his adopted son have created... Go on.
He's got a bachelor's. His son. He's not
undergrad Doom.
He's not a doctor yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's an intern.
Yeah.
Anyway, they create this device that can go like hundreds of years into the future, so they can like pull heroes from the timeline that Doom has like taken over to show how good like his reign has changed the world.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So he has pulled superheroes like hundreds of years in the future from like we have versions of Killmonger, Abomination, Dr. Octopus, Onslaught, Malekith, Ghost, and then his son, his adopted son's name is Christoph Bernard. And so these villains essentially are now part of this superior Avengers team where they're going around, and since every other Avenger is like in hiding to like figure out what Doom is doing, they're trying to showcase this is like the new Avengers, and they're from a timeline that we're all living in now where Doom has done such great work that we should keep supporting Doom, because if this is what we get, then why would we want to stop it?
Yeah, so it's like a propaganda thing, but it's real.
Yes.
That's crazy. I love that.
And it was a fun book to read. Like, so many times with these event books, like, it's kind of like lost in the weeds, and you have to like really kind of read every single book to understand what's going on. And this is such an easy premise. Doom's in charge. He creates a time machine to bring heroes far in the future to the present to showcase how cool Doom is. And it's like variants of villains that we know. And it's amazing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Like, does Doom give Dr. Octopus eternal life? Or this is like
no,
a
this
different
is
Dr. Octopus?
So we don't know much about them yet. But so Ghost is still in full costume. We don't know who Ghost is.
Mm-hmm.
Abomination is like a human, but like in a Juggernaut costume.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like the Hydra version of Steve Rogers.
Okay, interesting.
Killmonger and Doc Ock are women.
Okay.
And
Hot.
then I mean, they're not bad. And then Onslaught is like looks really gaunt and thin.
Oh, funny.
And it's like his mask is like completely shadowed, so you can't see what's in there. But it looks like just like the mom from what's that black and white movie? Psycho. Like just like the dead mom.
Yeah. Hot.
That's like another hot person in the book. And then Malekith is just like
he's
Malekith. Yeah, he doesn't really change much, but it was just fun to see different interpretations of heroes or villains, I guess. And then like there's a twist at the end that they tried to bring some other supervillains in, but they're like from the wrong timeline where they hate Doom, where they hate Doom still.
Yeah.
And so Doom's like killing them because he's like, well, we don't want them here. And we find out at the end of this book that all of these villains have been lying to Doom, and they're actually from that timeline where they hate Doom. So they're actually trying to stop what he's doing now in the present.
I love that.
Little Ocean's 11 action.
That's dope.
I loved it. I also read Moonshine Bigfoot, add-on image in Syzygy, by Mike Marlowe, Steve Ellis, Zach Howard, Nelson Daniel, Thompson Knox, and Chris Reinl.
That's too many names. Is it an anthology?
Too many names. No. And let me just start right here. I really liked this book. It's a 1 of 4. It's a mini series. This brought me back to the 90s indie craze where they just like did whatever they wanted, and it was buck wild. But this was an amalgamation of everything I loved about indie books in the 90s, fucking shoved in a blender and spun all together, and then they just tried to pour a story into a book. And if you're not dedicated to read it all, you may lose some of the threads.
Sure.
God, the images I'm clicking around make this look absolutely bonkers.
It is bonkers.
And
but,
you know what's funny is you said it's on the Syzygy imprint.
Uh-huh.
I normally think of like high art,
High concept, like
like stuff for Syzygy.
The first thing that jumps to my head is All Against All.
Yeah, right.
like this isn't a poetry book. What is this?
And this looks like Dukes of Hazzard with Bigfoot.
I mean, you got it. But there's like it goes into so many realms. Like there's an alien invasion. There's a chupacabra. There's like they throw everything at this book, and I'm wondering if they've thrown too much.
Yeah, Skittles and Reese's don't mix.
Right. Like in theory, I would love a handful of Skittles and I would love a handful of Reese's peanut butter cups. I don't know if I would love them smashed together and shoved down my throat.
Hey, in fairness, a 4-issue mini though.
But this book was big.
Yeah, it said it was a 30-pager.
It's a thicken. It's old Bigfoot thickens.
That's so good.
But like the artwork is just like a throwback to classic, like
It looks like Joe Mad.
yeah, like
Kinda, yeah.
and a little bit of Shibuya Ramos, just like really exaggerated features, funny stories. Check it out.
Is this like an origin story?
Kinda.
Of how Bigfoot became
The beginning.
Moonshiner.
Well, I mean, like the beginning first few pages, you're introduced to Bigfoot and like how he became to be, and then you might learn later on as the story goes who his lady is, who was a hippie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
it's cool.
That looks like a lot of fun.
It is. It's a big investment. There's a lot of stuff happening.
Sure.
So dedicate some time to it, and you will enjoy it. Don't
Plan on sinking a lot of your time.
don't just get the G.I. Joe silent issue and be like, all right, this is gonna be a
Well,
real layup for me.
speaking of, anything else to say about Moonshine Bigfoot?
Not after I just gooeyed you.
Okay. So after Mike D read what was it,
Jinx.
Jinx, I read G.I. Joe Silent Mission Spirit this week because I'm kind of a sucker again for like weird one-off stories.
Yeah.
And no words.
And
was
no-
here for
no
that.
words.
Leonardo Romero is my guy. So
Yeah,
I was
Leonardo-
excited for this one.
And he's the writer and artist.
Yeah.
So this is
And the stapler.
yeah, he stapled each book individually by hand. So this is the story of Spirit and his bald eagle pal, who
Wait, is the bald eagle's name Pal?
no,
Okay.
I don't know what his name is. But they kind of happen upon a Cobra
Cobra.
secret base out in the wilderness, and end up finding this like robot grizzly bear hybrid thing that attacks them, and they take it out. But you know, there's no words. It's all action. The art is, you know, absolutely top tier, as you would expect from a silent issue. This is just such a cool experiment
Yeah.
to highlight these, at least for a G.I. Joe neophyte, unknown characters.
That's a $4 word.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like that?
And I just like that they're paying homage to something from the G.I. Joe lore by doing something like fun and new. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so sick of just, we're going to recreate the same cover over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, homage something by doing things like this. This
Yeah,
is
for sure.
way more rad.
Well, and to take like, you know, obviously that silent issue is like
Yeah.
the pinnacle of, you know, if you're a comic book fan or a G.I. Joe comic book fan, that's what you know is
Yeah.
issue 21 was the silent issue. So doing an entire like 5-issue mini series that's all homaging that is great.
Yeah. Did you know they did the original silent issue because of time constraints?
I read that in the back of this
yeah.
issue that they decided to forego the words to speed up the process of getting the
'cause
issue
they were
out.
late. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the phrase? Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes, right.
Right?
It's great.
Yeah. That's shit AI can't give you, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, with the right prompt.
Nope. Can't fucking do it. So, yeah, it's very cool. You know, all these issues are whatever, $3 or $4. And it's totally worth the price of entry. I'm jazzed that you read that one and kind of keyed me into it.
Yeah.
How many of these are there going to be? Just to spell out G.I. Joe?
Just the 5.
5,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep, and they did.
Just to spell out G.I. Joe.
Yes,
That was the initial plan.
That's
yeah.
what they need. Is like that. We can only do 5.
I have a cover idea.
Someone's like, I have a 6th
They could
story.
have done-
Sorry.
They could have done periods.
Oh,
And they
that
had
would've been
7.
So funny.
Or 8 and had a star.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
We
you're
end up doing a real American hero.
oh Jesus Christ.
This takes off. Like, all right, we
A.
need.
R-E.
I mean, this is totally worth the price of entry. So again, thank you, Mike D, for picking this up.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
No, thank you both. This was completely off my radar, and now I
Yeah.
want to get all of them because, like, what would you say? Danny was the artist in the last one.
Yep.
Which we love their work here. It's like
Yep.
such a.
And Phil Hester did the first one,
Oh well, yeah. Who's the Phil Hester one?
Beachhead
Beachhead, and then Jinx, and then now
and
Spirit.
Yeah,
And then the next one is
Mike D is actually doing one.
I can't wait for you guys to buy my comic.
Roadblock.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very cool. I mean,
Who would you do? Would G.I. Joe?
I could do anybody from G.I. Joe.
Which comic would you do for the Silent series?
Oh.
which Joe?
Or Cobe?
Or Cobe.
I think Scarlet's a really cool character.
Yeah.
Scarlet is cool.
I'd probably do Scarlet.
I'd do Sergeant Slaughter.
I do Shipwreck. Who's the guy?
Shipwreck.
Shipwreck's a fun one.
Who wants body massage?
Yeah, I would do the origin of why he wears his naval uniform at all times and doesn't just like wear
Just in
it
case
normal.
YMCA calls and says, "We need you,
Yeah,
village people.
that's-
We need you."
Exactly. Apologies to all my G.I. Joe fans. I mean no disrespect. I also read Buried Long, Long Ago. And this book had me hooked because it is to true crime the same kind of thing that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was. Where it
Explain.
it jumps off of a thing that actually happened, but gives like an alternate reality take.
Okay.
So in this book, we are introduced to the 3 children of Belle Gunnis, who was a real life female serial killer.
The wrestler.
Yeah, the wrestler. But she was a real life like serial killer. And the book kind of revolves around one of her killings of one of her husbands.
Yeah.
That her children have to deal with, you know, kind of knowing that her mom has told them that, oh, it was an accident, but like clearly this was not an accident. And then at the end, there's like a supernatural, ghosty, spooky, witchy twist.
Ooh.
So
Spirit shows up. Whoa! Holy shit!
that's what I said. So this kind of like hits all like the check boxes for me, where it's like a weird, obscure true crime story. It's kind of a coming of age kids book. And then it has like a weird supernatural twist at the end too. So
Heck yeah.
very cool. I'm glad that I took the time to Google it and, you know, figure out what it was, because knowing, you know, nothing other than the title, you know, it is what it is. But
Ugh! What the fuck?
yeah, Mad Cave's kind of killing it this year with
Gosh,
books like this.
They are.
So
Mad Cave's on a hot streak.
yeah,
That book needs to go to detention. There's some bad stuff in there.
it's good stuff. And it's by Anthony Cleveland with art by Alex Cormack. So cool book. This is one I'll probably go the distance on.
Yeah.
Assuming that
If the last page is anything that I just saw,
I know, right?
We're in
It's-
for a
It's
fucking
crazy. Yeah. So
that's how I read comics. By the way, I always start at the end,
you start at the last page
Yeah,
and then
and
go
then
forward.
go
Don't
forward.
and
want to
then-
be surprised.
and then I go, "Oh, this makes sense now."
I need the finale out of context
Yeah, like,
first.
oh god, what?
Imagine how confused he was when he got those QR code Marvel comics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's why I was just so like weirded out by people that like were surprised by the Sixth Sense. So it's just like
Oh yeah.
they tell you in the beginning that he's dead.
Good stuff. That's
Thank
all I
you.
read. I didn't get a chance to read the Summer of Superman thing, but that's on my to read pile.
We'll get to it.
I'm sorry.
I want to say goodbye to our listeners. I'd like to say goodbye to anyone new who tried the podcast out. I'd like to say goodbye especially to our patrons. Thank you very much.
Oh, also, if you're new, we have a Discord. There's a link tree on all of our social medias. That is maybe the best way to ingest, outside of the show, First Issue Club. Yeah. It's like a group text that everyone is a part of. Yep. There's like 40 people on that thing now. It rips. Bye. Happy Superman Day.
See ya. First Issue Club podcast is brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company, the people responsible for our favorite drinks, the Space Camper Cosmic IPA family of beers. Our show is edited and produced by our hosts Mike DeStacy, Greg Lichtag, and Andy Vargas. You can find us on social media at First Issue Club, and you can join the supporters who keep our humble podcast going on our Patreon at patreon.com/firstissueclub.